Steven! Did you watch the fourth quarter last night?
Of what?
Of the Warriors game. If you want
Oh,
to call that a game, whatever the hell that was last night.
good Lord. I don't know. I thought you were trying to make some sort of joke or something like about football and how there's a football game on.
Oh, there kind of
Uh,
is. There kind of is. And thank
uh,
God for this today.
I'm going to keep it 100 with you. I kept it on, but I put it on the laptop and started watching FIFA instead. Or started playing FIFA instead. I didn't start watching FIFA. That'd be weird if I just simulated games and just started watching FIFA. No, I started playing FIFA though in the fourth quarter and put it on the laptop after the third. That was the roughest game I think I've watched the entire season.
Oh, yeah, dude. As soon as Draymond Green and Steph Curry went to the bench, I knew what was in store for the rest of the night.
Mm-hmm.
I watched Draymond do the whole, whoop that trick thing later, but I turned off the game. I've never turned off a Warrior playoff game before while it was still going on, but I turned it off. And I watched the Tony Hawk documentary, which is not bad.
It was good.
Pretty good, actually. A lot of shit I didn't know about Tony Hawk, actually. Dealt with some demons and dealt with some struggles with fidelity. His marriage.
Oh, no way.
I don't know. You think it'd be? I don't know. I always thought Tony Hawk was like a goody two shoes guy, to be honest, that skateboarded, but not the case.
Yeah, I always thought that too. Did we have the conversation about like no, I think this was actually just with Jesse, but like we were watching the 40-Year-Old Virgin the other night and
Classic.
was watching that scene with Leslie Mann. I remember watching that and just being like mind blown that she swears and that she's like raunchy because my image of her is
Ursula.
Is Ursula from George of the Jungle as a kid. So I'm like, what the hell is Ursula doing swearing?
I've been waiting for you all my life. Do. I've been waiting. Do. George of the Jungle, still a fantastic movie. Like for a kids movie and how goofy it is, God, that is right up my alley.
But it was the same thing with Tony Hawk. When I saw him on Viva La Bam, I'm like, Tony Hawk hangs out with these guys?
Oh, dude, yeah, Jackass. I mean, like, there would be no Jackass without Tony Hawk.
Yeah. So, I don't know. What's Ernie talking about? Where's Nice Guy at? I'm right here.
Well, you don't have your normal background.
Okay, but I have my same face. In my same name.
As far as we know, Steven, you could have done the whole face-off thing to get into a Mets game.
Dude, the face swap stuff is getting out of control. The deep fake stuff.
Oh, Kendrick Lamar?
Yes.
Turning into OJ in that music video? I like the other ones. I don't get the OJ reference.
I don't either. That was fantastic, though, that whole thing.
No, great music video, but when he turns to OJ, I'm like, whoa. Ugh.
There's one where, like, this popular guy on the internet named King Batch, who is overrated, to say the least, but he's very popular. He did something with, like, a guy who pretended to be Tom Cruise, and it actually looks like Tom Cruise, and it's terrifying, these deep fakes.
I've seen better deep fakes on whatchamacallit, for The Irishman. Like than the actual movie itself.
Right.
Like there's better YouTube, like, amateur deep fake guys doing that than the actual movie itself. Anyway, we're getting off on a tangent here. Welcome everybody to Just Your Opinion, man. Steven Langford, Derek Papa. This is our scheduled release show. The schedule is out, and we will get right into it. But first, Steven, let's just briefly talk about last night. Good God. It started with, I guess, an erroneous report from Kendra Andrews.
Yes. Correct.
Okay. I saw the video and I kind of took pride in it because that's what I suggested on the last podcast, that the Warriors embraced the whoop that trick thing, and they did. But she went on what used to be called The Jump. I don't know what it's called now. NBA Today, I believe it's called. And reported that Steph Curry, the game plan for tonight is whoop that trick, which apparently is not what he said. Regardless, it didn't work. It was terrible. And God, what the hell happened last night?
I don't know. Does anyone have an answer? Like
I might, but I'm going to reserve it for now.
What happened last night was, and don't you dare say the team has COVID, Please don't you dare say that.
Steven, it crossed my mind. It did.
Yeah,
That
everyone's
it
mind. Do you really think they'd go out there if they had COVID?
to win I mean, dude, maybe, yeah.
I don't know about that one. No, I think it was just a case of they made the trip out there. They were tired and they just didn't game plan properly. Like when Draymond did his podcast, and at the end of it, or at the not the end of it, at the beginning of it, when he said that they weren't prepared, or this is a totally new team, and they really hadn't prepared for the Grizzlies in this version of them without Ja Morant. And you saw
Yeah.
that when they started playing this 1-2-2 zone defense, which really works against a team when you have a star player. It's not going to work when the ball is just flowing through the offense and it's not ran through any specific person. And they just got any shot they wanted. It was brutal. Looking back on it though, I mean, we can focus so much on the Warriors and the issues that they had. You got to give the Grizzlies credit, man. I mean,
Yeah.
they definitely got some easy looks. There's no doubt about that, but they also made some incredible plays, and their execution was just on point. Like their passing, this is my favorite word to use to describe passing, was crisp. It's crisp.
Cocoa Crisp.
They were in the right spots at the right time, man. They looked like they were just more ready than the Warriors were. Their version of the game 3 happened last night.
Basically, and it was 10 times worse. I mean, that's the worst Warriors playoff loss I've ever seen. And I'm sure there's, I mean, in the Steve Kerr era, I should say, but God, it's just so hard to watch because they had no flow offensively. They couldn't get any stops defensively. I don't pay a lot of attention to the plus minus stuff, but a negative 45 for Klay Thompson, yikes! And that was just the whole group just was poor defensively last night. They shot well, but it was 75-50 at halftime. And I still think they're going to win this series. I got a little pep in my step when I saw Draymond dancing on the sidelines, and not to say that that's going to make them win the next game, but it shows that he can bounce back from something and not have it focus in his mind. I listened to the podcast too. I agree with Draymond. They're playing a totally different team and have a game plan properly. I'm not going to blame Mike Brown for anything because he's done this before. It's his first loss as Warriors active head coach filling in for Steve Kerr last night. Steve Kerr couldn't even help the Warriors last night. I'm not blaming Mike Brown for anything last night. Now, if Steve Kerr does come back, they'll make adjustments, hopefully, and I'm okay if Mike Brown's still coaching. But all in all, Steven, that was just pathetic, piss poor effort, probably. I'm not suggesting that they were looking forward to the next game to close it out at Chase Center because that's just ridiculous. But it did cross my mind a little bit last night, like, damn, you missed a golden opportunity to close it out last night. They just wanted it more, but hopefully they can mentally get over this loss because it was just a thorough historical beatdown.
Yeah, and to do it all without Ja Morant too. Like we all thought that this was going to be an easier series without Ja Morant, but in those 20-5 games, we wonder like, did they look better without Ja? And it's just, I don't know if they looked better without Ja, but they're certainly better on defense. Like I was watching,
they know how to play without Ja defensively better.
For sure. And
they figured it out. Was it 20 games that he was missing this regular season?
25. And
so they were prepared.
And I think the last one that they played, or last one he did play, was against the Pelicans. So it was one of those meaningless games. But like having Ja on defense was such a liability for them. And I think the Warriors are a different team at home. I mean, if the Grizzlies beat them in Game 6, like this is going to have that same sort of feeling like the Mets and the Red Sox in 1986, when Bill Buckner had that error.
God, or as Bostonians say, era.
Yeah, well, it's a lot easier to say. So good on the Bostonians for that.
Can you imagine a Boston robot malfunctioning? Era.
Have you thought about that before or something?
Yes. That used to be in my stand-up before. Anyway, go ahead.
Oh, wow. God, you have a lot more jokes in your arsenal, man. You could have used something different. I'm just kidding. Not really. But when Buckner had that error, right? That era, and it went through his legs, Boston was pretty much defeated after that, and we forget that there was still one more game in that series. It's not like
Yep.
the Mets won the World Series based on that game 6 alone, and it was competitive for the first 5. So when the Mets won that one, the Red Sox just felt in game 7, all right, this is over. Like they really were just mentally exhausted, and I feel like that's what would happen if the Warriors end up losing this game in game 6.
I hope not, Steven, because I can think of another example with Ray Allen making that, clutch 3 to tie the game up against the Spurs. That would have won the finals for them. Or wouldn't have found what if Ray Allen doesn't make that 3, the Spurs would have won that series.
Yep.
But the Heat tied, and then by game 7, they were just checked out.
That's probably that's more apt comparison considering it's basketball.
Correct. But I still have confidence in the Warriors. Still think they're the better team. John Morant's not coming back. They just gotta make some threes, and they gotta play the same defense they've been playing for the majority of this series. Offensively, they only had one good game the entire series, and that was game 3.
Yeah.
And I think they played great defense. I think the Grizzlies have played great defense, but I still think the Warriors, if Clay shot the ball better last night. Steph still struggled a little bit, but I think it was just more an effort thing on defense. And we'll come back to Chase Center, or they'll come back to Chase Center, and they'll get their groove going again. I still have confidence that they'll win this series tomorrow night.
Yeah, they shoot better at Chase. They get more. I mean, like I'm watching that first quarter, and really the first quarter, even though they were down big, I just thought their defense sucked. But offensively, they started to get going a little bit. Steph with a couple of big threes, Clay with a couple of big threes. That's going to be crucial at Chase Center because Clay was 3 of 17 from 3 in the first half in the previous 4 games, and then knocked down 3 and 5 shots in this last one. So if he can get that going in the first half, if he can get that going at Chase, I'll be feeling good about it. Jordan Poole is my one question, though, going back to Chase Center. I wonder what that's like, because looking at the raw numbers, the number 1 defender on Jordan Poole was Ja Morant, and I don't even know if that was by the Grizzlies' choice. That could have been just like they switched Morant onto him. But when Jordan Poole would go at Ja Morant, he would take advantage. I think he was 7 of 9 when facing him one-on-one, and then he was also like 3 of 4 from 3 when Ja was guarding him. So that's my main concern. It's not really so much Steph and Clay, but they need Jordan Poole to get going if they're not, and he just hasn't played well these past 2 games. He's looked stifled out there.
He has, and I wonder what they'll do with the starting lineup going forward, because it sounds like Otto Porter, we don't know what's going on with the injury. He may play tomorrow.
I really like that's a worrisome one.
And Andre is out for another week. I'm overplaying Kuminga. The offense just doesn't look good when they start off. It's 3 straight games where they look just not ready to play. The offense doesn't flow well. It's so many turnovers, 14 in the first half. I don't know what the answer is in the game plan as far as the starting lineup. Maybe you go to the death lineup, the death pool lineup, but you don't have a lot of size on the court to match up with the Grizzlies there, so that might be troublesome. But maybe you go to that. Who knows, Steven? All I know is last night's thing was very depressing, but thank God we're picked up today because we got a schedule release. Get excited, Steven. Get excited. We're getting excited for games that are months and months away from now, but we finally know what time and what weeks they'll be played. Aren't you happy?
Yeah. Sure.
Okay, let's get into it then. And by the way, you are correct. I saw your tweet earlier today. The fact that anybody falls for Twitter fake leakage stuff, stupid. In years past, I always would avoid it. And for whatever reason, I saw this guy this year, the guy that was sending out stuff every day, and I was like, oh, this actually seems accurate. And that son of a bitch tweets out this morning that everything he's been tweeting out for the last couple days has been a lie, just to get some followers on Twitter. What has this country become?
This is exactly what Twitter is.
I know, and I hate it.
And it's your fault. You followed
I know.
NFL schedule leaks.
And I immediately unfollowed him as soon as he revealed his terrible ways.
Like, schedule leaks are so stupid. Why do we have to leak schedule? It's the same thing as like when these reporters would say that this person got drafted. It's like, yeah, we see that. There's the draft. And it's like, dude, we don't need any of that. And I'm kind of like pissed off because I replied with a GIF of like the vegetable leaks. They're better than schedule leaks. then Madsen said that's a green onion. And I'm like, I don't know about that, man. I searched up leaks. And of course, his tweet gets more likes than my one. And so everyone's on his side, including Elena. How dare you, Elena? So that's frustrating.
She's a big fan of leakage.
I don't know if that's a green onion. Like, that's not a green onion. I don't know.
I'll have to go back and review the tape. But let's.
Oh, do you want me to do the thing?
Not right now, Stephen. We got time to look at vegetables later.
Hang on.
Let's.
That is so a leak.
Oh God.
That's a leak. I'm just saying, that's a leak. Anyway.
Well, yeah, it's a leak, but isn't the discrepancy that it's a green onion?
I don't know.
All right. Anyway, schedule is out, and we have all the games in front of us right now. So let's take a look. Week 1, no surprise. Bills at LA Rams to start things up. What other notable games? You got the 49ers going to the Chicago Bears. So it may be Trey Lance against Justin Fields, or it's Jimmy Garoppolo starting against his hometown team. We'll see, Steven. You laugh now, but we'll see.
I'm gonna laugh. I don't think that's gonna happen.
We'll see, sir. We'll see.
Sound a little too sure about that.
Chiefs at Cardinals later on. And the Raiders get a home game going to the LA Chargers week 1. And I know they're in LA, but that's a home game. Yeah. And that's a rematch of week 18 from a year ago. That was the craziness that unfolded there. We'll go through the whole Raider schedule in a little bit here. Packers at Vikings, Buccaneers at Cowboys to do the NBC Sunday night. And then they're not wasting any time here. This is the Buck Aikman debut. Broncos at Seahawks. Russell Wilson is going to Seattle in his first game ever. And I wonder, I think that the fans will be receptive to him, but he didn't leave on good terms. He wanted out of there.
I don't know with Seahawk fans, man. I don't know. I think they're kind of just like, F them. F them and let's move on. Like, I honestly think that. Here, let me pull this up. There we go. All right, got the schedule right up here.
There we go, week 1.
Yeah. So, Broncos and Seahawks is an interesting one, though, man. But,
yeah,
the Seahawks are going to suck. So,
that's a good move for ESPN/ABC just to get them out of the way. Like, this is a good game, like, to start things off, but you have no clue how good the Seahawks are going to be.
No clue. Let me get that off. Good Lord. Don't know what
was that the guys drilling?
No, I don't know what's going to happen there. That's the reason, Ernie, that's the reason I'm here. These guys are drilling in the house and they're right outside the front door. So I can't do the show from the regular spot. And no, this is actually my bed frame. You're getting a look at my bed frame right now. How about that?
Ooh.
Bills at Rams is going to be a really good one, though.
I like that one a lot, and I thought that was going to be the opener. Possible Super Bowl preview. I think the best 2 teams on paper right now in the NFL. So things are starting off with a bang. I like that a lot. I'm assuming the Kevin Burkhardt, Greg Olson for now Fox game is going to be Packers at Vikings. And I mean Raiders and Chargers right away. That's pretty good too. Raiders are playing Khalil Mack right away. That's going to be interesting. That's going to probably be the Jim Nantz Tony Romo game if I had to say. Or Chiefs Cardinals could be, but nah, probably Raiders Chargers is sexier at this point. Don't you think?
I don't know, man. Patrick Mahomes and Kyler Murray.
That's true. But no DeAndre Hopkins.
It feels like Raiders and Chargers is heading to Ian Eagle and Charles Davis territory.
Oh, real quick. I am loving me some Ian Eagle on the Warriors-Grizzlies series. All of his one-liners. A jawbreaker. A jaw lift.
Yeah.
And the best one. The best one. Do you know what I'm going to talk about?
I think I know.
Okay. You made fun of me for bringing this up, but he made a solid reference. Desmond Bane hits a 3, and Ian Eagle with the Dark Knight reference. Bane breaks the Warriors' spirit and body. Classic line. Ian Eagle. And I have to think that his son Noah is just feeding him lines while he's doing the game.
Probably. I think that wasn't my favorite. That wasn't the one I was going with.
Which one?
Specific call. It was just when he said that the Grizzlies are going on a 14-0 run. And he's like, does this even count anymore that they're going on a run? Really? They've just been going on a run the entire game. They're on a 103-56 run.
Yeah, seriously.
That was so good.
God, last night was just awful.
It was that bad, man. It was that bad. Terrible.
Should we get into the Raiders schedule week by week?
All right, yeah, let's do it.
All right then. So we said that they opened the season up against the LA Chargers in LA. Then they come home to Vegas to play the Arizona Cardinals on the following Sunday. Then the following week, so this is why I shouldn't look at these goddamn leaks, because this is wrong. I texted you earlier yesterday that the Raiders were going to play Christmas Day against the Tennessee Titans, and that did not happen. So they play the Titans week 3. Let's see here. I got John Curley calling me right now, probably about the schedule. Week 4.
Niners, look at New Year's Day.
Who they play New Year's Day? Oh, Greg's gonna hate that.
Why?
New Year's Day. He's got to go travel New Year's Eve to Vegas. Oh boy, that sucks.
He's gonna be there before, isn't he?
It could be a day before travel thing. Okay, so you got it in front of us, so we can look at this pretty easily. Chargers, then to the Cardinals, or at home with the Cardinals, at Tennessee, home to the Broncos, at Kansas City. Is that a nationally televised game? Why does this keep logging me out here? All right, week 4. This is a CBS game, so no. Oh, sorry, week 5. At Kansas City, that's a Monday Night Football game, so that's going to be tough. And then they get their bye week.
Yeah,
and then
I don't like those early bye weeks, man. The bye week 6, you never like that.
Yeah.
And
that's an early bye week. Let's see what else. So they have their bye week, week 6. Then they're home to the Texans. They go to New Orleans, then to Jacksonville. Well, that's may just stay in the southern region for those 2 weeks there.
Yeah.
Home against the Colts, at the Denver Broncos. Not seeing a lot of nationally televised games here.
3 in a row, I think.
3 in a row? Where?
Look at week 14 through 16.
Oh, okay. Well, here we go. I was going week by week here. So they go to Seattle. They're home against the Chargers. And week 14, they're on Amazon Prime Thursday night against the LA Rams. That will be another home game. I can guarantee you that. And for all the people that thought the Raiders were going to play the Rams in the opener, the Rams do not want the Raider fans taking over their stadium in week 1. So that's smart on the schedule makers.
Oh God, week 15. I'm already envisioning it, man.
Yeah.
Patriots, December 18th, week 15. Oh shit.
Yeah, but we don't know if this is the same Patriots team. They got Mac Jones, and
Raiders are going to be 10-4 by that time, and then they're going to be 10-5 on the Patriots. Then they're going to go to the Steelers. Then they're going to be 10-6. Then they're going to lose to the Niners. They're going to be 10-7.
Stop it! What's all this negativity? You know the Raiders are better this year. Come on.
Yeah, and then you get to December. I'm not convinced until we get to December. Like it's a very forward-thinking way for the NFL season, and it's no way to think about it. But I'm just like, oh yeah, I'm stoked for the team. Don't get me wrong, stoked for them until we get to December.
So you're saying that, like Wyclef Jean, the Raiders will be gone till December.
Gone till November.
Yeah, it was gone till November. Damn it, that was close.
Yeah, I actually watched an Always Sunny episode with that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just yesterday.
That's going to be an interesting thing, man. So that's New Year's Day in Vegas. And we'll both be off work. Steven, make a little trip.
We might have to.
Oh, boy. And then week 18, they are home against the Kansas City Chiefs. And that could be another win and in thing like they did a year ago with the Chargers. So all in all, Steven, I know it's early. We're just looking at the schedule right now in front of us. But I'd say it's manageable. It's not as bad like in years past when, God, what was that one in 2019 where they were on the road for 5 weeks straight? Like the one home game was the London trip.
Yeah. Except they went 3-2 on that trip, or did they go 4-1? I remember they exceeded expectations. I was stoked.
They did. They won. They beat the Colts and they beat the Bears. But regardless, this looks all right. I mean,
it doesn't. It's not like it's daunting. I'm not seeing anything that's scary. I mean, those, like I mentioned, though, those 3 primetime games right there, all the way to Christmas Eve. That's going to be a tough stretch. Like those last games, they're going to need to stack up as many wins as they possibly can in September, October, and November, man. But you know what? Personal standpoint, this is great. I got a lot going on in October, and I got
Like what?
I got a wedding per weekend. So on the
All on
8th,
Saturdays?
yes. So on the 8th, we got a wedding and that's just here locally. I think I forgot where, but near Santa Cruz. So that's fine. Then I'm going to be off to England on the next week during that bye week. So boom, bang, boom.
There you go.
So there's the wedding on the 15th. Then I got to go to LA for the wedding on the Saturday on the 22nd. Then you got the Texans, which is just a who cares game. Like the Texans are going to be out of it by then. So personally, I'm loving the schedule for October. That's just me.
Yeah. No, I think it's not bad, and I think this is all manageable. Yeah, let me just say that I'm sure Greg is not happy that he'll have to go to Vegas New Year's Eve where people will be crazy and loud and obnoxious, and he's going to get ready for a football game. And
Yeah.
let alone he's going to be in Vegas with all the Raider fans. It'll be his first game that counts against the Raiders. This is going to be interesting.
Oh my God, dude, that's crazy. Yeah, his
Oh wait, no, wait. He went to Levi's in the 2018, but that was when he was the pregame host. So this is different.
yes, this is way different.
Yeah.
Kind of weird, but they're not playing the Seahawks in the preseason. Wow.
Raiders? That's yeah, first time in a while, huh?
End of an era. The preseason week 3 game or / week 4 game rather against the Seahawks. Brutal.
Oh wait, why do we have? Oh, because the London trip. Yeah. Oh no, the Hall of Fame. Oh, the Raiders are playing the Hall of Fame game. Ugh.
I didn't know that.
Yikes. Well, that means they get a training camp earlier.
Mm.
Yeah, but all in all, Steven, yeah, I think it's a manageable schedule, and I think they got enough nationally televised games here. Let's see here. So they.
I'm not feeling bad about it. Hey, by the way, when's Tommy coming on? We didn't even like.
Oh, Tommy Call is coming on. Our buddy. Yeah, well, we're teasing it now, baby. Tommy Call is going to join us, talk a little about Warriors, and he's a big Dolphins fan, so we'll dive into the Dolphins and all the shit we used to get back into the day, and we all work together. So Tommy Call coming up soon here. But yeah, man, want to switch over to the Niners schedule?
Yeah, all right, I can do that. Hang on, let me pull that up. Pull that baby up. Did you see what the Seahawks did?
No, what they? Oh, they do like a crazy thing to reveal their schedule.
No, they pranked their players and revealed a fake one.
That's fun.
Yeah, it was really funny. They like Quandre Diggs was so pissed, like because they made it seem like they had.
Why would they go out of their way to do that though? It's like the schedule. It's like the people that make phony Twitter accounts that do that shit.
Yeah, and it's like almost, hey, you're falling for that idiot.
Yeah, like what's worse, the people that fall for that stuff or the people that waste their time trying to trick people every day?
People that fall for that stuff. Okay.
Whatever. All right.
Schedule here. Bears open. Okay.
In Chicago.
Yeah.
And apparently the Giants are going to be in Wrigley that weekend too.
Interesting.
A little double dose for Greg.
And you got the Broncos on Sunday Night Football, the Russ versus 49ers battle. So that's actually
that will be home at Levi's. So they got back-to-back home games. Week 2, they're against the Russell Wilson-less Seattle Seahawks, and then they go and they're home. Wait, oh no, they're at Denver. So that game will be in Mile High.
Yeah. Then
okay, so the red ones mean they're home. Yep, they play the Rams week 4 like they did last year against the Rams on Monday Night Football. And then, so then they're back-to-back in Carolina, in Atlanta, so they'll probably stay over on the East Coast again. Or the South, I should say. Kind of East Coast. What else? And then they got the Super Bowl rematch the next week, week 7, in Kansas City, late kickoff. Then they are going to LA on Fox to play the Rams. So they get the Rams out pretty early, week 4 and week 8, with a span of 4 games in between. They're knocking that out pretty early as opposed to last year, where I feel they played pretty late.
They did. Who did they play? I feel like it felt like they played the Cardinals pretty early last year.
They did. Yeah, because Trey Lance played in that game, and then Colt McCoy came back and kicked their ass.
Wasn't that the same game? No,
different game. Trey Lance, yeah.
Okay, gotcha. And then do a lot of traveling in the first couple of weeks of the season, but get it all out of the way. Why not?
And then they are home, so off their bye. Oh, so this is what I'm talking about. So they're not gonna get a bye week after their Mexico City game. That's rough.
Yeah, that's
So
brutal.
they week 10 are home on NBC against the Chargers. Then week 11 they go to Mexico City to play a home game for the Cardinals. No bye week. They're home though against the Saints. Week 13, there's a Mike McDaniel reunion as the Dolphins come to town.
Mm-hmm.
Week 14, Tom Brady comes to town for the first time as a Buccaneer, playing his childhood team. And then they go to Seattle on Amazon Prime. Week 16, oh, Christmas Eve. Home, though, right? Okay, cool. Oh, God, that would have screwed up our holiday plans.
I love how it becomes personal.
Well, I mean, no, like every time I look at this, I'm like, so where's Greg? What are we doing? Is he gonna be home? What are we doing here? We having Christmas without him? That's the life of the kids of the broadcaster. Um, week 17, we talked about it. Oh, God, New Year's Day in Vegas. That's gonna be spicy. Wow.
That one's
And
gonna
then
be wild, man.
it is gonna be wild, especially with the ties with the Raiders and the Niners. A lot of Niner fans will probably travel to Vegas. That's gonna be fun. And then week 18, they are home against the Arizona Cardinals. So all in all, Steven, not bad. The only thing I would say is Niner fans are going to be upset that they don't get a bye week after their Mexico City game. But that was probably going to be the case anyway, because I was talking to my dad. I was like, that seems like a late bye week. But they're not getting a bye week. They are going to be home against the Saints, but that's still rough to go to Mexico and then come back and play. I'm trying to remember. Do you remember when the Raiders went? So 2 years in a row, they went to Mexico City. They played the Texans in the game they won, and then they got shit stomped by the Patriots the next year. But I don't remember if they had bye weeks the following weeks after that. Probably not, because it's so late in the season when they had those Mexico City games.
Dude, I can't remember. I can't remember at all.
Let me take a look here real quick. 2018 Raiders.
So you're gonna be at home.
So they were they had to play.
Damn, man.
Oh wait, no. What am I doing? 2018. I mean 2016. My bad. Hang on. 2016, they were on a bye, then played the Texans, then came home to play Carolina. That was the Khalil Mack game where he had the pick six. So they kept playing, and then the Raiders, same thing, on a bye, then went to Mexico to play the Patriots, and then came home to play the Broncos. So I guess historically, it's always been that teams playing in Mexico City come back and play home, so they're adjusted to being at home, but they don't get a bye week.
Gotcha. Man.
Yep. So let's see what else is going on in this little schedule. Let's see the Sunday Night Football schedule this year. So the Bills at the Rams to start the Thursday night opener, and then Sunday night that week is Buccaneers at Cowboys. So of course they put the Cowboys on Sunday Night Football to start things off. Then Bears at Packers week 2. I guess the rivalry is kind of sexy, but Bears are going to be terrible this year. 49ers at Broncos, so there's one for the Niners. Week 4 will be Chiefs at Buccaneers, so that, the Super Bowl rematch. Week 5, Bengals at Ravens. Week 6, Cowboys at Eagles. Steelers at Dolphins. Week 7, this is a good one, great one actually. Packers at Bills. Week 8. And then you got Titans at Chiefs. Week 9. Chargers at 49ers. Week 10. I don't see a Raiders Sunday Night Football game yet.
They're at week 15.
Oh, okay, so they're later. And of course, these always could be flex too. Bengals at Steelers, first Bengals nationally televised game, I think, right there. Or maybe they got a Monday Night Football game earlier. But then you got the Patriots at the Vikings, Packers at Eagles, Colts at Cowboys, Chiefs at Broncos, Patriots at Raiders, Bucks at Cardinals. And then the last Sunday Night Football game scheduled is Rams at Chargers, Week 17. Ooh, baby.
I want to talk about a flex candidate.
That last one?
Probably not.
No, dude, come on. L.A. Sunday Night Football. Well, Al Michaels won't be doing it, but
true.
Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah, pretty good schedule there. Although I don't know. I guess the worst one would be Titans, Chiefs, maybe. It feels like that could be a blowout. I don't know. That just seems like
You're not feeling the Titans this year, huh?
no. I think they're gonna be all right. But whatever. If Derrick Henry can stay healthy, then maybe. Patriots Vikings is a weird one on Thanksgiving too.
That is weird. Oh, that's the Thanksgiving game.
Yeah.
So the leaked ones were going to be Bengals at Cowboys and Commanders at Lions. Let's see what the actual. What week is that? Week 15?
Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
It's looking like it's to start week 12, I think. Is it?
Week 12?
To start week 12? No.
Let me see here.
No, Thanksgiving on NBC. Yeah, to start week 12. Yeah.
Okay, week 12.
Yeah.
So that will be Bills at Lions, Giants at Cowboys, Patriots at Vikings. Yeah, that is weird. Well, Giants at Cowboys is the normal thing. Bills at Lions. Bills, pretty sexy.
Yeah, let me see. What was a Colts schedule last year? Because one that's kind of intriguing. I think that'd be a fun matchup. Is Colts Cowboys?
Colts Cowboys would have been cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they got that week 13 on Sunday Night Football. I think that's going to be a good one.
Well, that should be good actually.
And
then I'm curious. Oh, sorry. What were you saying?
Just Colts in Dallas. Jonathan Taylor going up against Micah Parsons. That's going to be a good one.
And then Monday Night Football. So let's see what the games Troy Aikman and Joe Buck are going to get this season as they switch over. So let's see here. I have it pulled up. If you find it, just pull it up too. But we already talked about Broncos at Seahawks. Russell Wilson returns to Seattle. Then there's a doubleheader week 2. Titans at Bills on ESPN. I don't think Buck and Aikman are doing that one. They'll be doing Vikings at Eagles. Cowboys at Giants, that's their usual thing on Fox, so that's a pretty big game. Rams and Niners early on, that's big. Raiders at Chiefs, that's a good one. Broncos at Chargers, that's so back-to-back AFC West games. Bears at Patriots might be the first dud of them all. Then you got Bengals at Browns, and I want to check out the Brown schedule to see what it looks like, considering Deshaun Watson might get suspended. Week 9, Ravens at Saints. It's okay. This is pretty big. Commanders at Eagles. That will be Carson Wentz going back to Philadelphia for the first time. That's week 10. Mexico City game, 49ers at Cardinals. Then after that, Steelers at Colts. It's pretty good. Saints at Buccaneers. Tom Brady on Monday Night Football. It's always a good thing. Patriots at Cardinals. It's all right. Rams at Packers.
Kyler Murray.
Yeah. Rams at Packers, that's pretty big on ESPN that late in the season. Yeah, that's a good. Yeah, they're improving. Chargers at Colts, another good. Yeah, that's pretty good. And then the last one, Bills at Bengals. So yeah, actually ESPN has improved their games this season.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's any like Broncos Jags in London. I'm out on that. Like I'm good. I'm not waking up at 7 a.m. to watch that. Let me see here. Yeah, you're right. Bears Pats. There's not much there. Bengals Browns is always interesting. I mean, Washington and Philadelphia. I don't know. Like fun little rivalry game for the NFC. For the NFC East, but whatever. Yeah, am I getting it right? Jesus. Yeah, not bad. There's not many complaints that I have on the schedule. That back half there from November all the way down is pretty good.
Yeah. They got pretty good games this season. Sorry, hang on. Tommy's having trouble trying to log on.
What a jerk.
Having trouble with the streaming site. Google keeps blocking my mic/camera. What does that mean?
I don't know. Does he use Google Chrome?
I guess. Let me figure this out. Oh, well, anyway. So, yeah, we just summed up the whole schedule right there. We didn't have to do a 4-hour show like NFL Network and ESPN2 are doing right now.
Yeah. Has NFL Network had Michael Irvin on yet?
Oh, yeah, dude. It is.
Just to sweat and trying to hype up something that isn't even that exciting.
Always with Michael Irvin.
Tom Brady versus Bill Belichick, Buccaneers, Patriots. You remember that last year?
Yeah. That and any Cowboys thing he'll get just over the top about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw Matthew Stafford was in the studio with them. They're right across the street, so that's an easy thing. Yeah, they're gonna milk this for 4 hours, and I'm interested to see. No one's announced that Greg Olsen is a part of the Fox broadcast yet. Oh, they're having Buck and Aikman on right now.
God,
It's a lot. I would rather watch basketball right now. I don't need to hear everybody talk about this schedule.
Yeah, I know it's kind of weird seeing a game where they're in the third quarter and it's 63-52. Like it was already this with like, the Warriors being in the 52 part. It took them until really the end of the second quarter to even get close to 52. And then damn, low scoring game.
It is low scoring.
But yeah, the Heat just got up 65-52 and the Grizzlies already had 65 points by like midway through the second quarter. How sad is that?
It is sad, and we'll talk about it more with our next guest who figured out
hang
a
on,
situation.
wait,
okay.
Hang on real quick. You watching those Christmas Day games over NBA?
Oh, I forgot about these. Okay, so Packers at Dolphins. So we were totally lied to about the Raiders and Titans.
What's going on, Tommy? What's up, dude?
Hold on.
Let me wait, Steven. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Could
Just for that Christmas Day graphic, I appreciate that.
Could we do a proper introduction for Tommy here?
That's the kind of treatment I like with this group here.
All right, hang on one second. All right.
Get him off. Okay, so here we go. Joining us now on Just Your Opinion, man, is managing editor at Warriors Wire. We love him. Used to work with us back in 957 The Game. He was so close to beating Patrick Mahomes, but 13 seconds got away from him. It's Tommy Call. What's up, Tommy?
Tommy.
And for the podcast audience, Tommy Call looks exactly like Josh Allen.
I take that as a great compliment. I mean,
as you should, sir.
A handsome guy.
Damn right you are. What's up, man?
Not much, guys. It feels good. It feels good to be chatting with you guys about some sports behind a microphone camera. It's been a long time.
It has been, sir. So how's the job with the Warriors Wire and everything?
It's busy right now. It's busy right now for sure, but it's fun. It's actually this is my third season with Warriors Wire, and the first two were really bad. Obviously, as you guys, I've covered a lot of terrible basketball over 2 seasons. So this was the first year where all the guys were obviously healthy, and there were some really competitive games from start to finish. And now we're into the postseason, and it's been a really good experience. It's busy, but it's it's the big leagues. It's fun,
dude. That playoff game last night. How what do we?
What in the goddamn hell happened last night, Tommy?
We're trying to create like a pecking order of blame. Like what do we blame from last night's game? I'm very baffled by all of it.
Yeah, I mean, one thing that stands out is kind of how we got there, right? If you guys think about what was it, game 4, where they squeaked out the win. Obviously, we remember Steph Curry 18 points in the fourth quarter, but at the end of the day, that game was terrible. I mean, the offense looked bad. The effort was poor. I mean, and we've watched this core for years now, and we know we have an idea, a general basis idea of when they're trying and when they're not, and when they're kind of coasting a bit. And it seemed like that was the case in game 4. I don't know if that's lack of Steve Kerr. I don't know if that's no John Morant and not respecting their opponent. I don't think that's the case because these guys are obviously professionals, but that definitely blended in to game 5. And from the start, and a lot of people are calling out, hey, you got to stop with these bad starts for the Warriors. Well, they've been really kind of doing that all season long. That's part of who this team is. They play from behind rather well, and they use that quote-unquote championship acumen to close teams out late. Well, that wasn't there because they buried themselves in such a deep hole. But, I mean, I don't know about you guys, what you thought, but, I mean, the effort is concerning, right? I mean, it seems like they are lollipopping it a little bit.
Just humor me for a second, Tommy. I texted Steven this last night. I could be totally out of bounds with this, but I just want to get your opinion to see if I am absolutely crazy.
It's just your opinion, man, by the way, Tommy. It's just your opinion, man, all right?
Yes. And this opinion could be just batshit crazy. But Steve Kerr has been dealing with COVID. And from what I've been told, you don't have to test for COVID unless you don't want to. Is there a possibility that the Warriors were kind of feeling sick last night?
Hang on real quick. From what you've been told, Derek, what the hell you mean from what you've been told? You mean from what you read?
From what I've been read and what my dad has researched. Yes. You want me to just get to it, Stephen? Yes. My dad inquired with Raymond Ritter, and this is how we're going to get to this point, okay? So, yes, in order for you to be tested for COVID in the NBA, you have to say that you have symptoms. If you keep it to yourself, then nothing happens. So,
right. Tommy, continue.
What do you think, Steve? Do you think that's likely, or do you think I'm just being stupid? And conspiracy theory.
It speaks. I just for how precautionary the Warriors. These guys have families, right, and everything.
Yeah.
You know, that would be doing disservice to not only them, right? Like, you know, there is a little bit of a bigger picture here than what we see off the court, and I think that what we know about the professionals, like, and not only just general human leaders like Steph Curry, I don't think he would be down with that. You know?
Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah,
but it crossed my mind. It definitely crossed my mind.
You make a ton of sense, Tommy. That makes all the sense in the world.
It's not a stupid question, Steven. Didn't it cross your mind at all last night?
Now, Tommy, I'm wondering though, because you are right. The Warriors got off to a ton of slow starts throughout the season. But who, in your opinion, needs to get off to the quickest start? Would it be Steph or Clay? Because looking at it last night, like both of them knocked down a couple of threes pretty early on. I know Steph didn't shoot for the first 5 minutes of the game or whatever, but it feels like, you know, I mean, they were within 1 point, even with Steph doing that. So I'm not going to look at the loss and think that that's right up there as far as my concerns. But like the crowd at Chase Center, they were kind of dead at that point in game 3 or game 4, rather, just because of, you know, that slow ass start going 0-15. Like, I mean, would it be Steph? Would it be Clay? Obviously, you'd love to have both of them, but
For sure.
man, I think I want to see Steph get off to a quick start and just start raining threes immediately.
It's what I think one of the bigger, like, kind of undervalued bummers of this past game was the start Klay Thompson had, because of how, let's just call it what it is, bad he's played. We all love Klay Thompson in the Bay Area. It feels kind of like sacrilegious to talk poorly about him, but it has not looked well since the start of the Memphis series and after a pretty encouraging Denver series. And so him knocking down some shots and looking Klay Thompson-esque in that to start that game was encouraging. That's something I wanted to see, but he didn't really get the opportunity to do that because of everything that happened. I mean, if I'm the coach, I'm pulling him out to get some rest heading into game 6 too. But he is the guy to me, just because I think we all, you know, as Warriors fans or people around this team, kind of, you have Steph Curry in your back pocket, right? That's why every game feels like it's never out of touch, right? Even last night when they're trailing by 27 or whatever it was at halftime, you go, you know, Steph gets hot a little bit. Maybe they creep back into this thing. Clay is a guy that I think we all just need to see. And I think he needs to see it too. Just like have some shots go down. He gets that crowd going because of everything that Klay Thompson brings to it. So he's the guy that I'm targeting, that I think, you know, needs to play better outright. Like they need him to close these guys out. They need them in potential series in the future. Like he has to not be the Klay Thompson of 2019, but a version of that.
Woo. Oh.
You know what just crossed my mind, Steven?
What?
Sorry to go off on a tangent here, but Tommy, something we do on this podcast is whenever we get picks wrong, the loser has to eat hot sauce.
Okay.
And Steven has yet to own up to his bet for the first round of the NBA playoffs.
Wow.
You got any hot sauce handy, Steven?
You remembered that one, huh?
Of course I did. You used to want to bring it up, huh?
Yeah, all right. Hang on.
All right. Well,
Steven keeps hot sauce by his bedside table.
Yeah, you know what though? Like I gotta move. To be honest with you, Tommy, I normally do this from my kitchen table, which I'm going to do now. They were drilling outside of my apartment before the podcast started, so like I went to the quietest part of my apartment, and now I'm gonna go do a little move to the dining room, and then we'll get the hot sauce going. Derek, continue the interview. I'm gonna stop my camera real quick.
Okay.
It's not an interview. I feel so formal.
Not interview, whatever. Just stop
catching up with good friends.
Shoot, we're just shooting the shit, Tommy.
Yeah.
Shooting the shit.
Oh yeah. Do you like hot sauce, Tommy?
Oh, I love it. I'm a big spice person. The spicier, the better for the most part. Some things get me really good, but my now wife is crazy spicy person. Everything has to be as hot as it, like the hottest wings, the hottest sauce, and she owns it. I don't know. She has no like sensory to the spicy foods. It's insane.
That's awesome, because I'm the same way, even though my body doesn't react very well to it the next day now. But
yeah, she can hang with the best of them.
That's awesome.
This guy would get atomic wings at Wingstop voluntarily, Tommy. Voluntarily.
I like a good challenge, Steven. What's so rad about that?
Now, our guy Ernie, you know Ernie, Tommy.
Oh, I know Ernie.
Oh yeah,
everybody
in the
knows
comment section, and he asked a question here. You can check that out.
real question about last night's game was, what was Tommy called barbecuing? What would you queuing up, man?
Yeah. So for the people on the Twitter, we're on a little barbecue team here in Santa Rosa, Aces and Eights Barbecue. And
nice.
we were cooking jalapeno poppers and tri-tips. First time we ever smoked tri-tips. We smoked like 9 tri-tips. It was pretty intense. Yeah, it was good. It was really good.
Can I come over sometime and have some of this?
Of course, yeah. Brisket, we do it all. Pulled pork, really whatever.
Oh, sounds great.
Yeah.
So we'll get back to the Warriors in a little bit here. But Tommy, you're married now, dude. How's married life?
I did it. I tricked her. You got it done.
When did you get married? Like a month ago, right?
Yeah, a month ago. Yeah. 1 month anniversary just passed on the calendar. But yeah, it was fun. About time.
Sweet. Well, congrats to you and the bride.
Thank you.
So Tommy, a lot of people are blaming Mike Brown for last night, and they're also blaming him for Game 4 because they didn't play well offensively.
Yeah,
I honestly think that's all bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that Mike Brown or Steve Kerr can help them when they're not shooting well. It's just what's going on defensively. They were terrible last night. Do you put any blame on Mike Brown last night?
I mean, there are some things that were questionable. I mean, I think it starts with the lineup, right? But I think that I think Steve Kerr has his finger on the trigger a lot closer than we probably think. All the reports are he's in meetings, he's in their ear at halftime, things like that. It's not like he's saying Mike Brown's scrapping his game plan. However, I mean, there are some things, like there's some players getting minutes, and when it's not working in a game like last night, I want to see something a little bit different. Like through the entire playoffs, and a lot of it has had to do with injuries and matchups. I understand that's how this game goes, but for a team that spent so much of the regular season playing with different lineups, right? Steph, Clay, and Draymond, they barely played the regular season together. And then they headed into the playoffs. And then there was this birth of Jordan Poole in the starting lineup. Let's go real small. And then now you're throwing Jonathan Kuminga in there. And then over these last 3 games, and I get it's because of necessity, because there's no Gary Payton, but Damian Lee's seen double figures in minutes, and that's a guy who in the first round was getting DNPs. And so now you're counting on him to play a lot of minutes, and then Otto Porter goes down. So there's some things there where it's like, I get he's a rookie. He's had his ups and downs, but yeah, let Jonathan Kuminga make some mistakes. Like, let's ride with our guy to an extent.
I don't know, man. Do you like Kuminga starting still?
I mean, at this point, it wouldn't, especially with Steven Adams out there, I would like to see Looney, but I also, Kuminga, I think it's hard. Like, people, I think, stress too much on him starting because he's playing 5 minutes out of the gate, and they're bringing somebody else in. So it's like, that's not even a full starter type rotational minutes. So he, I don't know. I think him or Moses Moody, guys like that over just Damian Lee, who we know what he's going to get. And he's not knocking down shots. If he's not going to shoot the ball well, that's a guy you pay money to do. That's why you put him on the floor in that moment. So for a person like him to not shoot well on top of it, I mean, those are decisions that I think you can point some blame at Coach Brown in the situation, but I don't know. I mean, I kind of tend to agree with both of you guys. Like, I don't want to force a ton of blame on him. I think we just, as NBA fans and kind of just the state of where we are in NBA fandom right now, it's just, we love pointing the finger at coaches. Steve Kerr gets it as bad as about anybody.
Yeah. What about the Grizzlies? Who on the Grizzlies right now without Ja Morant is scaring you the most? I mean, is it Steven Adams? Is it Bane, who looked really good? Like, he looked like I mean, pun intended, looks like he's back.
Yeah, I mean, I wrote about Desmond Bane last night. That was a guy I was really worried about to start the season, to start this series specifically was him. But I mean, a guy that was really impressive that just did not go away last night was Tyus Jones. I mean, and he played really well when Ja Morant was out. And then last night we really got to see, I don't think that was a fluke. I don't think that was them shooting well. I think he's just a darn good point guard. Like, and I don't think he's going to cause them fits. I mean, I think you worry about guys like Jaren Jackson first, and then you worry about Desmond Bane. But if he's your third player and he can drop 20 points on you and do it pretty well and play good defense and kind of be that playmaker role that Ja Morant is to an extent, like get the ball to these guys like Bane and Jaren Jackson easily. Like, the Warriors don't really have a player like him. Like they don't have a guy that can back up Steph or Jordan Poole and that we're confident about, right? And I just think I'm impressed with him, and he's good in little bursts, and he can be good as a starter. So I think slowing him down and you just let Desmond Bane and Jaren Jackson do their thing. I'm not worried about Steven Adams. I think that was a lot to do with the lineup. Like he can definitely play a factor, but I think that's something that right now Steve Kerr and Mike Brown and Draymond Green are drawing up right now going, this is how we attack him. If they're going to play drop coverage against Steph, like let's go right at him every time offensively, because he's not the OKC Steven Adams, even though he had some glimpses of it the last night. But I'm not worried about that one.
Dude, that's crazy to think about it. Like the Warriors X factor, and hopefully he stays healthy, has been like Otto Porter Jr. The Grizzlies
If he's
X
healthy,
factor has been Tyus Jones. Like that's kind of crazy to me. Wow.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah,
Damn.
I would have liked Otto Porter to start one of these games, but now that he's injured, and that's another. So what's the latest now? We'll see if Otto Porter Jr. plays tomorrow.
It's questionable.
Andre Iguodala is out for another week, so that could be a potential thing if they make the Western Conference Finals. And then any news with Steve? Do we know anything for tomorrow?
Yeah, just I like to stick with our guy Slater, and it sounds like he's pointing towards he's not going to be around.
Damn. Okay. I mean, I have no doubts about Mike Brown getting it done, but
This is like when you think about it, Steve Kerr tested positive for COVID on Tuesday, and it feels like these guys got to wait like a week till they can come back and after they test positive. So, like, it doesn't feel like he's even going to be back for this series if they get it to a game 7, which is just haunting my nightmares right now.
Yeah, what was it last year remember Chris Paul missed the first 2 games for the Western Conference Finals with the Suns and Clippers?
Yeah.
But I think it was just 2 games. But those were more spaced out. Now it's every other day.
It's weird. I don't know about you guys too, but just like it's kind of funny that the Steve Kerr thing's happening right when it's felt like these 2 series have been stretched so far.
Yeah.
And then now games 5, 6, and 7 are all within 1 day of each other.
I know. that 3-day thing where there was nothing just because of the TV purposes was so weird.
Yeah.
Steven, I haven't forgotten that you got to eat that hot sauce. Let's go
Do
here.
I got to do it? Do I have to?
Next question you asked, you got to put it on your tongue beforehand.
Okay, that's fair.
All
right, you ask.
What else you got lined up over there, Steven?
I only got well, let's just say, Tommy, that it's tradition around here to put a dab on the last wing. We got the last dab right here. Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, the triple X.
Shake it up, baby. Shake it up like Sean Evans.
Yeah. You gotta.
I just to kind of tack on the Otto Porter conversation, because I think he's been one of the best. One of the best. Obviously, it's easy to talk about guys like Draymond. They're all stars. Draymond, Steph, Clay, Wiggins, Otto Porter. That's a guy that really gave them a serious boost. While it sucks that he was hurt last night, and going forward is definitely scary because he's brought so much. But also, just like if you think from a standpoint of the roster from player 1 to player 13 or 12 or however big the rotation is, you take out Porter, Gary Payton, and Andre Iguodala. That's 3 guys. That's 6, 7, and 8. So now you're counting on player 9 to potentially give you double figure minutes and these really crucial games where you're already starting a rookie. Let's call Looney number 5, and that's Jonathan Kuminga 9, Damian Lee 10. Like that, those are guys that are on the end of the roster for a reason. They're young players. They're guys on veteran minimum contracts. And now you're asking for significant contribution for them. I think that's a factor that if Otto can't go tomorrow, that's going to be something that's going to be weighing on me. It's like, man, who's that guy that's going to step up? Is it Damian Lee? Who's that guy that's just going to give them 15 solid minutes and not be a minus on the box score?
Crucial to the small ball lineup that they've had to run for pretty much the entire series. That's what has me, man. The rebounding, rebounding on the 50-50 balls. Good God, he's been so good at that. By the way, I just dropped some of the hot sauce on the table and licked it with my pinky by accident. So already,
it's your table. It's fine.
Yeah, I know, but it's my mouth that's not fine. It
hurts.
hurts.
That's the whole point, Steven. What the hell are we doing this?
Do I have to do this now?
Yes, off the table now.
Just to let you.
Snort it like Coke.
So I let me see if you can get. I put a lot there. Please don't drop on the Mac. I put a lot there. This shit hurts. All right.
Oh, you put on a chip.
Yeah, I got to put on something. I'm not just gonna pull on my tongue.
So Derek, you guys kind of teased me because I jumped in a little bit late just
Oh,
while I was
shit.
at work.
Oh.
But you showed the little dolphins on the screen in the graphic. Are we going to get in a little football action?
Let me
Oh,
pull that
well-
out for you.
We'll get to your Finners, but just to end the Warriors conversation real
Okay.
quick, Tommy. Did last night at all kind of hinder your confidence that they could close the series out?
Not closing the series out, but just a general, if they took care of business and if they gentlemen sweep the Grizzlies without a John Morant, you go, yeah, I firmly put them in that contender role. I was talking to our guys Lucas and Nash just last night, and it just feels like what we've
Lucas and
seen
Nash.
over the last 2 games is the Heat, the Bucks, and the Suns just have a different gear, and that gear we probably haven't really seen from the Warriors. So yeah, I think they win tomorrow. I mean, I think the sports books are speaking for itself. I think they opened as like 8.5-point favorites. That's a good sign. I mean, they're at home where they've played really well outside of really game 4 or whatever that was. So I think they're going to close out, but going forward, like there are some issues clearly, and there are issues that they can't just shoot out of. I don't think they're not that team anymore. So I think they'll give a team trouble, whether that's I think it's going to be Phoenix and the next round if they make it that far. I think they'll provide trouble, and even if they were to advance to the finals. But yeah, it just feels like those 3 teams at the top just have a different gear than the Warriors do right now.
And
I
as
agree.
we speak, just the Heat are leading the 76ers, so they may close the series out right now. Speaking of Heat, how you doing, Steven?
I'm okay. Do you have a different opinion on the Grizzlies as opposed to previously in the regular season? Because I am very annoyed by them. Like after this whole series, like everything that happened with Taylor Jenkins and the Gary Payton stuff, the broke the code thing. And then it ends in just whoop that trick. John Morant chanting Game 7 to the crowd, like all different things. I'm annoyed by this team now. I don't like them anymore.
They said
Yeah.
see you Monday. That's our thing.
It's weird because it's like if you paid attention to like John Morant's Twitter, even if you weren't watching games throughout the regular season, the guy just loves to shoot off a tweet the minute he walks off the floor, and they're usually pretty hilarious. And we've seen the dancing and things like that. So it didn't surprise me that this was going to get a little spicy. Dylan Brooks obviously said what he said about Andre Iguodala dating back to last year. Like I always felt like this series was going to get spicy. What has kind of stuck out to me that was a little surprising was Taylor Jenkins' reaction through all this. Like that's a guy
Seriously.
that we did a vote with USA Today about just who we thought was coach of the year. I voted for him to be coach of the year. I thought the jump with him with the Grizzlies this year was pretty. I expected them to be good, but not be the team with the second best record in the entire league.
Yeah.
Like I didn't think that. And so yeah, I had a lot of like praise for him, and I still think he is a talented coach, but how he's handled himself, doubling down on the Jordan Poole, like going after a player for doing something that it just seemed like the bone bruise. Like I don't know. I mean, I don't think Jordan Poole by far is a dirty player at all. And so not to even hash that out again, but how he handled it yesterday, I just thought there were some things that could be better. It could be handled better, but I mean, maybe there's stuff going on behind the scenes we don't know, we don't see. What Jaren Jackson's telling him about his former high school teammate, I don't know, but I just thought that definitely is I think that's going to linger for a while with a lot of Warriors fans. Whenever he comes to San Francisco Chase Center, that is going to be something that's going to be talked about.
Yeah. While Taylor Jenkins is making me look bad, Tommy, because while you look like Josh Allen, I look like Taylor Jenkins, and this asshole is going to be a bad rep. Do I look like him? I mean, Steve broke my heart telling me that the other day.
You guys, yeah, similarly. You got the beard.
All right, I don't want to hear any more of this. Let's get to the Finners, as you call them.
Let's do
the
it.
Miami Dolphins. So they play Christmas
About
Day
time.
against who they playing Christmas Day? Packers?
All right,
Not bad.
I'm gonna pull up the schedule. I'm gonna go to the team Twitter and pull it up right now.
Okay. So You happy about Mike McDaniel coming from the 49ers, trying to steal Debo away? We'll get to that later. But they get Tyreek Hill, and they get a lot of speed on the team right now. So
Yeah.
they're poised to be a better team this year, Tommy. But can Tua throw the ball to Tyreek Hill and not underthrow him like we saw in this video that came out?
Oh man. It's hard. Like, it's hard for me. Like, we can talk about it now, but I've spent almost the last 2 calendar years defending Tua, and previously I spent 7 years defending Ryan Tannehill, and so I'm just almost exhausted of just defending these guys that aren't really cutting it. And I think it's really a big time prove it season for Tua. I think if he does not perform, they will try and figure it out with those 2 first-round picks, whether that's trading for a veteran, whether that's going and getting Tom Brady in free agency, begging him to play another season. I think that's very much on the radar for him. I want Tua to do well. I think he has what it takes to be a successful quarterback. I mean, he's played behind an absolutely putrid offensive line with terrible playmakers his entire career, and probably with a coach that never really trusted him. I mean, that's never a good thing to have your boss not have faith in you. I don't think that instills a ton of, confidence when it comes to him. And I think that's a big thing that we kind of dismiss as just football fans and NFL fans. I think these guys need that. And on top of that, just like we said, the playmakers and the offensive line. But now there's no real excuse. I mean, this team has, I think, a top, let's say 10, potentially could excel into a top 5 skill player unit with Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill. And then I love what they did in the backfield. It feels like the first time since Ricky Williams and Ronnie Brown that they had like competent running backs, whether that's Chase Edmonds and Raheem Mostert. And they just signed Sony Michel, who's a great pass pro back at minimum. And we saw what he did at the end of last season with the Rams. I'm really excited about that, but I do think Tua just has to figure it out. I think Mike McDaniel, I mean, Steven should know out of anybody how big of a fan I am of Mike McDaniel. It's been years, and I think he's going to really set Tua up to succeed like he's done with guys like Jimmy Garoppolo. And the whole throwing the ball deep thing is there's a lot of people out there that want to run and go like, he was one of the best passers in terms of like statistics, like percentage-wise down the field last year. But it's like they threw the ball down the field like 10 times. So it's like, yeah, maybe he hit 7 out of 10 of them, and that's going to skew those numbers. Like, he was better than Justin Herbert and throwing the football down the field statistically. It was like Justin Herbert throws it 50 times down the field every single game, where Tua's maybe once every 2 weeks. So right. I don't buy too much into that. It's going to be one of those things that it's like, we're all going to have to see it. Like, I watch every Dolphins game, every single minute, criticize every play they run. And then the Dolphins are a relevant team. I mean, they're just not like, if the average NFL fan can't name 5 players on their team until this year. They have a little bit of moxie. They're going to be under the microscope a little bit for the first time in a long time. And I think that's a good thing. Like, let's figure it out. And if you're going to roll with your guy, it's got to be Tua. And then if it's not, I think they're going to find somebody as soon as next season.
This is the first time that I'm hearing this, though. Hang on. There was a video of a deep ball that wasn't with Tua to Hill.
Yeah, if you look it up, everyone's showing like it was supposed to be like a look at this new connection thing, Tua to Tyreek Hill, and it's underthrown. It's an underthrown ball.
Right.
Yeah,
okay,
it's an underthrown deep ball.
Okay, yeah, but where Tyreek's value was, sure, of course those go routes, whatever, and he just speeds by the secondary. But where a lot of his value was those underneath plays, those freaking bubble screens where he just like makes something out of nothing and goes for 8 yards. So I really wouldn't worry too much about a deep ball just because it's underthrown. Like, they could find other ways to utilize Tyreek Hill with Tua, because wasn't he like, God, a lot of saliva. Wasn't he a super accurate quarterback in terms of like throws from 5 to 10 yards? I understand, like, that's not exciting, but Tyreek can make plays happen.
Yeah, and I think I've said this to both of you guys. It's almost like reminiscent of like Alex Smith in those days, even dating back to when he was with the 49ers, where it's like the fans that really watch him are like, yeah, he's good. He can make all the plays. But then when you talk to like that casual fan, they're like, oh, he sucks. He can't throw it deep. You know, that's kind of the right. theme Tua is running with now, because like you just said, Steven, like they had a lot of success. Like Jalen Waddle's catching 10 passes for 70 yards every week and breaking the rookie reception record. But again, it's 10 catches for 70 yards. Like we need to see those get pushed into the $150 territory to get really
Yeah, that's Jarvis Landry territory right there.
seriously. And it's like for a guy like with the speed of Jalen Waddle, who caught a lot of deep balls, that's just not going to get it done.
Yeah. Before we get to the schedule real quick, Tommy, I saw that you were following this guy too. What do you make of fucking guys that are on Twitter leaking shit and then they turn out to be fake? Is it more so sad on the people that fall for this shit or the people that waste their time trying to trick these people?
Oh, 100% the people who fall for it. I mean, kudos to that guy. Hat tip to the guy with the schedule.
No, screw that guy.
When I first saw that, I legitimately laughed and I retweeted it because I thought it was so
I know, I saw
funny. And then him just doubling down on top of that and being like, "You losers fell for this with no real like." That was some serious. Just I like that. I thought it was pretty funny. I mean, but it just kind of goes to show the whole state of this conversation is like we are, in a general sports conversation that you would hear at every bar in America. We're talking about schedule leakers and a video of a 10-second video that got over 3 million views with Tua underthrowing a football to Tyreek Hill. It's like, man, are we starved for football content or what?
Oh yeah, dude. I have you watched the USFL?
I haven't been actually.
It's terrible. It's not good.
Yeah. I usually count on like our group texts when we talk about things like that.
I know. I've been not that interested in this though. I watched the first week, and the fact that all the games are in Birmingham, Alabama, and the crowd doesn't even go to these, and it's just terrible quarterback play. Like Shea Patterson won a game throwing 4 interceptions for like 89 yards. It's just gross.
Shout out to Santa Rosa's own Scooby Wright though, taking over as the face of the
Scooby-Dooby-Doo.
USFL. Yeah.
Really? What team does he play for?
Derek?
Birmingham.
Oh.
They're all in Birmingham. I don't know. The Dolphins schedule. So let's go through this real quick, Tommy.
Okay.
They're home. So the white games are home games, I'm assuming? Okay.
Yep.
So they're home against the Patriots. Then they go to Baltimore, home against Buffalo. Can you tell which ones are nationally televised or where they're
Yeah, they have two. They have a Thursday night game and a Sunday night game. Thursday night against Cincinnati and Sunday night against the Steelers. Yeah.
The Dolphins are going to be a hot team this year.
Man, this has got to be the first time they've had a Sunday night football game since probably I've been in like high school, if not middle school.
Wow. Yeah, I'm trying to remember. No, wait.
Man.
No, they had one against the Raiders where Marshawn ran a touchdown in against them. Jay Cutler's
that was Monday Night Football. Where they had
Sunday Night Football, sir. I worked it.
No, because that's when they had what's his name, where Ndamukong Suh fumbled it and it flipped to Marshall Newhouse and he ran with it.
Oh no, that was Sunday Night Football. Night. I will bet you some good old barbecue ribs that was.
Okay, no. So next week I'll host your spot with Steven.
If I'm wrong.
Yeah, if you're wrong, you have to be the guest role.
Okay, that's fine with me. I'll show up and just be like, hey, what's up, guys? I'll look it up here in a second. What do I get if I'm right though?
I don't know. What do you want?
Can I get some barbecue?
Yeah, of course.
All right then.
Yeah, of course. That's an easy one.
But let's go through this real quick. So, where did I leave off? Okay, so they are home against Buffalo week 3. They go to Cincinnati, to the Jets, home against the Vikings, home against the Steelers, then back to back. They'll probably stay in the Midwest here, but they're back to back Detroit, Chicago, home against the Browns bye week. Then they're home against the Texans, and then they're 3 weeks in a row on the road. Mike McDaniel has a reunion with Kyle Shanahan. They go back to the Bay Area. Then they go to LA Chargers, so they'll probably stay on the West Coast there. Then they go to Buffalo, Christmas Day against the Packers, go to New England, and then finish up things against the Jets. So overall, Tommy, how you like this?
I mean, I think it's broken up into like little quadrants. Those first 4 games, like you can easily blink an eye and be 0-4. Like those are 4 really tough opponents to start the year. Or it's like if you're 2-2, I'm happy. And then it's kind of a little bit of a lighter schedule leading up to the bye week, and then you end the season with 6 straight just really tough murderers row type of games. I mean, the Jets are who the Jets are, but it's a division game at the end of the season. Like that could play spoiler if they can clinch a spot in the wild card for sure, and they're going to get up for that one. So I don't like brush that off the schedule and chalk it up as a win. I mean, I'm looking at the schedule and I'm thinking 18-0, 17-0 easily. But overall, the first 4 really scare me. And I think I'm going to find out a lot about my team after those first 4 games.
You'll get the Patriots week 1. Although I should say that because Brian Flores usually beats them, but I don't know about Mike McDaniel.
Yeah, Tua undefeated against
That's true. That's true.
against the Patriots.
By the way, I was right. Send me some barbecue.
So, that was not Sunday Night Football.
Yes, it was, dude. 2017, week 9. Raiders at Miami Dolphins. It was 8:30 kickoff on Sunday, November 5th, 2017.
Damn.
You're bringing the conspiracy theories. It's hard to trust you with the fake news.
Conspiracy theory, sir. I worked the damn game. I did the pregame show with Tony and Bill Romanowski. Guess what? Raiders going to win this game.
Speaking of, you're not a part of Tuanon, Tommy?
I've jumped back and forth on the 2-9. I mean, it's funny because it's like I get a hard time from some of our buddies at the station and just and the sports world in general being a homer, but it's like, of course I'm a homer. It's my favorite team. So I think like any Tua homer is a TuaNon member, and I'm down to roll with it.
Derek, you haven't seen this?
No, I know about TuaNon.
TuaNon's a very real thing, my
believe
friend.
me, sir. I listened to Chris Long's podcast, and he got massacred for saying that Tua's not a great quarterback.
Yeah,
but
I
love
the videos of it. My favorite, like the absolute favorite on TuaNon. It's my favorite Twitter page right now.
But like the dolphin, like the dolphin behind, yeah.
The fact that you said I brought up Bill Romanowski, and then you go, speaking of which, let's talk about Tua.
No, you said conspiracy theories, and you kept talking.
Sure. Anyway, so yeah, Dolphins should be good this year, Steven. Tommy,
you haven't seen the TuaNon page, Derek?
I have. I'm well aware of TuaNon, which I think is just a ridiculous name, but actually kind of clever.
That's very clever, and it's more real than QAnon.
Probably.
Yeah.
Tommy, I want to talk about this with you because let's give credit where credit is due, man. You were one of the first people that let me just go, turn back the page here. It had to be 2019. You always have been interested in doing scouting. Mm-hmm. And in years past, before you were doing the Warriors gig, you were always great about breaking down the draft, and you and I would talk about it. I think no one's more tapped into the draft than you, sir. You do a great job prior to the Warrior job and everything. But you paid yourself to go to the Senior Bowl. Mm-hmm. And I've always been impressed with this. You made a ton of contacts there. Is that where you met Miller?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What's his first name? Sorry, his name's escaping me a little bit. Matt Miller.
ESPN now, big dog.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. And you came back, or while you were there, actually, I got you on the radio during the Caboose Pistol, but I got you on the radio with my pops, and you were talking about Deebo Samuel. Mm-hmm. And sure enough, the Niners drafted the guy. You were one of the first people I heard to talk about this guy, and now he wants out of the 49ers. So just your thoughts on everything of how he's become a great player for them, arguably their best player on offense. Dual role of being the running back and the wide receiver, which reportedly he doesn't want to be, and now he wants out of there.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a bummer. Like, it's just like it's a sad situation because I'll make this almost like real simple. I don't think a team in football could probably maximize his value better than the 49ers. I think he has been so successful behind guys like Kyle Shanahan. I'm going to give Mike McDaniel some credit with that of putting him in this situation where, finding your best playmaker and getting him the football in creative ways. Like, that's the name of the game. Like, the Chiefs do it really well. The 49ers do it really, really well. And all these other teams are trying to mimic that. And it starts with Deebo. However, I mean, if you're a 49er fan watching this all go down, him shake his head at bottle service, things like that, like, that's not fun. That's not easy. Do I think he deserves to get paid a ton? Yeah, but in terms of what he can do on the football field, like if he went to the Jets, I don't think he's that player that I don't know. I mean, it would want to be one of those things like Tua. We'd have to see it to believe it, right? Like we'd have to see it for multiple weeks to believe it, because I think he's at his best with the 49ers. If like the Dolphins were another team that were mixed in with that conversation. It's like, okay, maybe with Mike McDaniel, they're trying to maximize his best value, but outside of the 49ers, I don't know how much better it really gets for him. I mean, the guy was pound for pound one of the best football players in the entire league last year. If we took out quarterbacks, he's getting MVP votes, right? Like, I mean, he saved the 49ers in multiple games. Like, he won games for them.
Yep.
And I think that sticks around. But again, these are grown men at the end of the day, and he's trying to make his money, which I get, but also like guys like George Kittle, and while they have a first-time starting quarterback, not a rookie anymore, and Trey Lance, they're probably looking at him like, are you here or are you not? Like, we're going to find out a lot. There's going to be so much drama, I think, surrounding that situation when training camp rolls around, if he hasn't signed the dotted line yet, or if they haven't worked out an extension. It's going to be interesting, but I do think it's a bummer because he is such a special player.
But Tommy, everything's good. He followed the 49ers back on Instagram. It's all good now, right?
I guess. I don't know.
I don't fucking know. Who cares?
Yeah, dude. When we first started hosting shows, you told me when you interviewed Debo, you're like, bro, he had this look in his eye where it's just, you do not fuck with this dude. Like, you do not mess with him. He has that look where you're thinking, okay, if I'm trying to
Debo
tackle
coming.
you, he has like those Mike Singletary type eyes. I don't know.
He does. And I think we've all heard him speak now, and we've listened to him on the radio at 95.7 or whatever it is. And I remember like very much this moment that what I was telling you, Steven, is like, I had like a little chance to have a one-on-one with him because I was a huge fan of his. And I went to the Senior Bowl being like, I want to talk to Debo. Like, I'm going to be the guy hyping Debo up. And sure enough, he just like balled out. I remember I think his name's Dane Jackson. He's in the NFL right now. I don't know if he's on potentially the Bengals, a corner that I was like, this guy's going to be a stud. He's going to be a late round find. Like, I did my homework on this guy. Debo just like used and abused him the first day of practice, where it's like literally like highlight tape, breaking him off in routes, which those drills are favored to the offensive player. But at the same time, I'm like, this guy's just a grown ass man. And then I was like, I'm going to try and chop it up with him. Like, I'm going to let him know I'm like a big fan, gonna post a ton on my Twitter, just like trying, hey Debo, how you doing? He's like, shit, fuck, I messed up, and like I was intimidated, I was intimidated very much so. And at this point, this was my second time at the Senior Bowl. I was kind of used to how to talk to players. I had him on the podcast, was doing some hosting. Like, I got my straps. Like, I understand how to handle this. I know how to listen to talk to athletes. Man, no, hell no with him. It's just, the guy's just, he's an intense fella, and he has that presence with him that I think you go like, yeah, he's going to go into a locker room and be the alpha pretty quickly. And what it took 2 seasons to figure that out, and he's a very, I love watching Debo. I always feel connected to him from the Senior Bowl and being a big fan of him in college for sure. But I like I said, I think if you're in his corner, if I was in his ear, I'd be like, let's try and figure this out with the 49ers, man. Like, who their coach is. Like, look what they did for your career. Like, you're only going to make more money, like, if you keep playing like this with these guys.
Yeah. The key to get to Debo is just, stand up to him like Craig and Friday and just like, come on, Debo, that's a female here, man.
Dude, you could argue he was the face of the Niners last year. Like, he turned into the face of the Niners. How do you not want to stick with a team when you're the face of that team? I don't get it from either side. I really don't.
Because maybe he wants to play for Mike McDaniel.
Ooh.
He loved himself some Mike McDaniel.
They did have breakfast together.
They did.
Wow.
Yep. And Debo loves Miami. That's another thing that,
what a weird pairing, man. Mike McDaniel and Debo just chopping it up at breakfast.
Mike McDaniel. He loved Mike McDaniel.
So it's been weird, like, seeing Mike McDaniel get a little more of like the limelight and hear him on like McAfee and all these things. And it's like, he's that guy, like, I don't know about you guys, where it's like, is he ever going to be 100% serious? Like, everything he says has like a little bit of like sarcasm to it. And it's like hard to trust, hard to read, hard to gauge. And it's like, we're at that point in the off season where any social media clip is like, we're going to break it down. We're going to analyze it. And he said this and that. And it's like, for him, it's like almost not that it goes in one ear and out the other, but like Brian Flores, when he said something, it stuck, right? And that's I was familiar with. Kyle Shanahan is similar to that, where Mike McDaniel is like, this dude's like joking around half the time when he's just trying to have like a serious conversation.
Yeah, I wonder
he
what
understands a lot of that's like kind of, sorry, Derek. He understands like a lot of that is I don't know. He understands a lot of that is BS kind of, and he just has fun with it. I feel like he
Sure.
really tries to. I was playing I was done playing any sound from Kyle Shanahan and his weekday pressers. I was waiting for Thursday, baby, when Mike McDaniel, the offensive coordinator, would get his shot.
Yeah.
Like that was the time to do it.
I do hear you, Tommy, though. Like, if they go on a 3-game losing streak, is the media going to be like, all right, this guy's fun and funny
Yeah.
anymore? And was just like, all right, this,
He's this guy a joke, and is that going to like extend to the locker room? Like, I don't know.
Yeah. Like, if Sean McVay ever started losing, I wonder what the perception of him would be. Like, oh, this little guy, like, does he know what he's doing? But obviously he's established with the Super Bowl.
For sure.
I want to get your opinions on, prior to Mike McDaniel being hired, all of the controversy going on with the Dolphins. Brian Flores, I thought he did a fantastic job with the team, but they fired him, and then he goes scorched earth on him and sues the league and suing the former owner and Stephen Ross, claiming that he had to take a dive in games. Just your overall thoughts on that.
Yeah. I mean, it's ugly. It's sad. I was bummed with Brian Flores losing his job. The final week of the season, I was like very much so, and especially when they were playing against the Tennessee Titans, when it was like that was the game where if they won, they had a real shot at making the playoffs. I was like, I very much thought Brian Flores was coaching for his job. Stephen Ross is getting older. I don't know how much patience he has for to just continue to rebuild or building a loser or things like that. Like that's why I think the Brady stuff has a lot of legs. Like I think the Brady thing is very much like, it would not surprise me if Tua failed and Tom Brady's a starting quarterback and a minority owner of the Dolphins as soon as next season, like as his final year. It just wouldn't and I think there's the meeting a free agent on a boat. I think that was Brady, and I think that, like, the things that Brian Flores called out in his lawsuit, it's ugly, it's a bummer, but unfortunately, that's just like the state of the NFL. Like, it's none of the stuff that came out was a surprise. Like Derek, Steven, you guys love football. Like, we know teams tank. Like, it just happens. Like, I think it does, and I think there are probably many owners across the league who tell their coaches, yeah, if you lose this game or if you get us a higher draft pick, here's X amount of dollars, or here's a Bitcoin that pops into your wallet, something like that. Like, it would not surprise me.
Yeah.
And so all those things that he said was not by any means a shock, like, especially in terms of the things that had to do with racism and stuff. That's not a surprise. And it's just ugly. It's a black eye on the league, but it's something that we should probably be talking about a little bit more.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Steven, do you agree with me that the Raiders, Gruden's first year, were trying to tank in 2018?
Yeah, they traded Khalil Mack. They were absolutely trying to tank. Yeah.
I mean, I'm with you, Tommy. I think it's just, everything that Brian Flores is saying, I agree with, and it's not surprising by any means. But I do, like when Hugh Jackson speaks out and says, like, "Oh yeah, I was given a raw deal in Cleveland. Were you asked to tank games?" No, I just had a shitty team. Well, Hugh, a lot of guys were given shitty teams. Like, that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
But
yeah, and I think like for the Dolphins, particularly with Brian Flores, like that first year, remember, like, people were saying, oh, when they traded Minka Fitzpatrick and Laramie Tunsil, all these guys, people were like, they should sit out games, like, if you're a player, because it's clear they're trying to lose so much. And then they went on to win multiple games and root themselves out of the Joe Burrow conversation. And it was like they were beating teams they probably should have lost to. And it was purely based on like coaching and effort, Ryan Fitzpatrick coming alive, things like that. Like, that was all credit to Brian Flores. And it was something that when since the Dolphins have been irrelevant my entire life, this is the most I've probably ever talked to them about somebody in a straight line here. But the one thing to be proud about the Dolphins was Brian Flores. Like, everybody was like, I like your coach. Your coach is cool. Your coach is a badass. Well, like, I do think there was some things that had, like, there was ego-driven issues. He came from the Belichick tree. I think he modeled a lot of how he handled himself as Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick gets to act the way he acts because he's won multiple Super Bowls. I don't think Brian Flores had that long of a leash, and it could have rubbed some people the wrong way with how he's handled Tua particularly. And I think that contributed to his exit with the Dolphins. Like, I think that a lot of the stuff he's saying is rightfully true, but then there were also some issues that happened to him. Like, they went on a 6-game losing streak or whatever. Like, somebody needs to have fault in that. I don't know. Brian Flores was probably just under the gun a little bit.
And did you think that they were going to get Deshaun Watson at the trade deadline if
A side of me did. Yeah, a side of me did, and I would have been bummed about it.
Yeah.
I
if
think
the
that's-
I guess it was Stephen Ross and them met and it had to be where the girls were willing to take an NDA and that didn't happen.
Yeah.
But that would be. Can you imagine
Ugh.
now if Deshaun Watson's on the Dolphins?
No.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
I was.
Yeah, that would be
I
bad.
mean, yeah, I was. I mean, I think he's a very talented player on the field. The off the field stuff is definitely something. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not pretty.
Just uncomfortable.
It is. It
Yeah,
really
speaking of
is.
which, we should look at the Browns schedule to see how many possible games he's going to miss there.
Ooh, Brown
Yeah.
schedule.
Well, wait, real quick though.
Yes.
Because
Real quick.
we talked a lot about my Fins, but I think a team that's in the very similar radar with them is the Raiders.
Mm.
How are you guys feeling about that? Because one of the things that Steven and I spent a lot of weekends together, doing our show on the radio. But one thing, while we didn't root for the same team, we just bonded over pure misery from week to week, like the flow of being excited to being frustrated to being excited to being depressed.
Mhm.
And now I think for the first time for the both of us, for our teams, like it's genuinely exciting. Like it was both of our teams are cooking a little bit.
Oh, dude, I'm excited, but and I tell this to anybody who asks me, like, if I'm excited for the season or whatever, and I'm like, yeah, I'm excited for the season until we get to December. Like,
Yeah.
I've been saying that for a while because Carr has shown that he's not good in December. Like, he's really a terrible quarterback in December. However, that start to the season with the Chargers and the Cardinals, the Titans, Broncos, Chiefs, very tough before the bye. Then after that, that's when they're going to really need to start stacking up some wins. Pretty much week 7 through week 14. I need them to go 6-2 probably in week 14 if I'm feeling good there. And then you got the Patriots, the Steelers, the Niners, and the Chiefs to close it out. So
Yeah, the
you know,
blistering schedule.
yeah, all that at the end of the year. Like, I'm not feeling too great about it, although I'm thrilled that they're going to be playing Arizona without DeAndre Hopkins. How about
Yeah,
that?
that's true. But you got to
What do
play.
you think
You got to play
about, what do
Hollywood
you think
Brown.
about the Devontae addition?
Oh God, loved it. You kidding me? Like, I didn't even look at the contract for like a month. I just didn't. I didn't care.
It's
I
not your
really
money. Yeah.
no. It's like I just everyone's wondering like what's his contract looking like. I'm like I don't even know.
Yeah.
I just know that he's on the team. Like that's it. So I don't know. And then Derek Carr's like voice has gotten more southern.
Oh
Like,
God, yeah.
way more southern.
It's always
He's-
been
his-
like that.
His new thing, it used to be just, oh man, I love him. Oh man, it used to be that, and now it's turned into, you know what I mean? He says that a lot.
I have noticed that more now.
Yeah. You'll hear him like he'll explain something and he'll go, you know what I mean?
Oh,
It's very-
faux hawk and everything.
Yeah. The haircut. That's
yeah, the
word
hair is
for
a
it.
little wild.
All
man.
white suit.
The hair is a little wild.
We all may need to go to Vegas New Year's Eve. You see this, Tommy? The Raiders and Niners are playing each other
Yeah,
New Year's
wow.
Day. Good Lord.
Wow. That's going to be a good one. Is there like, I know obviously here it means something, but obviously with the move and it's just been a long time now and I feel like it's settled, but there's still quite the rivalry with those two, right? Like,
Oh,
just
God, yeah,
amongst the
man.
fan base. Yeah, it's just weird because I feel like if that game was in Oakland or San Francisco, we'd be talking about it a lot more, but almost the Vegas buffer has, I don't know, pumped the brakes a bit, but I that's going to be one I'm definitely tuning in for.
Well, they're going to play in the preseason, I'm assuming, too,
Mhm.
unless that's changed. But
The Raiders and
Yeah.
the Niners?
I think it was on that. I think it was on that schedule.
no,
you
they're
just
not
said,
playing this year.
No, they're not playing the preseason. No,
Damn.
they got the Jags, the Vikings, the Dolphins. Shout out to the Fins and the Patriots. So in the preseason.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
And it's New Year's Day. It's not even New Year's Eve. So everyone's going to be like hungover and just tired on New Year's Day. New Year's Day is one of the worst days of the year.
Steven,
Yeah.
be honest with me. Is there a small thing in your mind that Niner fans may take over Allegiant Stadium?
Oh, no doubt in my mind they're going to take
Yeah.
over
Oh,
Allegiant.
God.
So I
Yeah.
went to
happened?
I went to the Dolphins game last year there.
yeah?
At Allegiant Stadium. Week 2, it was Jacoby Brissett, or it wasn't week 2 because maybe
Week
it was
3.
like I don't know, week 3 maybe.
Yeah, because
'cause
the
Tua
Raiders
got
went
hurt
3-0.
week 2.
Yeah.
And Jacoby Brissett scores on the 2-point conversion to push it to overtime in the final play of the game.
Yeah.
And there were so many Dolphins fans there, it like echoed. I had a full row of Dolphins fans behind me. I was wearing my Tua jersey, fully geared out. I didn't have one word said to me. I mean, standing when Derek Carr threw a pick 6 in the first quarter, I'm standing up cheering. Not one word. Not like even I was with my buddies who are all from the Bay Area and big Raider fans, and they're like doing like the Raiders, and it's like no one's even doing it with them.
Yeah.
There was like a guy in front of us wearing like a Tom Brady jersey. There was a Kirk Cousins jersey, I think, in front of us, all in the row in front of us. Kyler Murray was there. Yeah, it was a
Kyler
bummer.
Murray was at the
because-
game.
No, in the crowd wearing his own jersey.
Oh, I got you now. I'll be
Um,
quiet now. Sorry.
You know, I always feel connected to the Raiders because Derek, that's where I like grew up in the sports world, was going to those games with you and stuff, and
Training
producing,
camp.
writing, training camp, everything I could kind of do.
The old
And so
Shabless.
It's the Shabless shout out. Like
Shout out to A. Scott, man. We're thinking of you.
it's you know, it was special. Like I kind of like felt indoctrined from the Raider Nation from that, even though I never grew up a fan or anything, but just like being around the atmosphere before the games, being at the pregame with you and stuff, like it was special, and it was a bummer. I know it's kind of like an older conversation at this point. It just is what it is. But it was just like, man, I was like, damn, like
Oh no, sir. I'm still in therapy over that. So don't.
yeah,
It's not anything new.
I don't know. Yeah, it was, and my buddies were bummed out too, and I was giving them a hard time. Obviously, there were some
Yeah.
drinks going down, you know, but it was fun.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Are you gonna go? What week is it week 13? Dolphins at Niners.
Yeah, and I think I'm actually going to go to SoFi too.
Oh,
They're fun.
nice.
They play the
Wait,
Chargers.
Dolphins are going to SoFi too?
Yeah, right after the Niner game, back to back.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
kind of nice.
yeah. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna.
Oh wait, for the
try.
Chargers game. For Chargers.
So that's a team I want to ask you guys about, just because I love talking football with you guys. But
Yeah.
being the rival, they're a little scary.
I'm always
I would
scared of the
s-
Chargers.
I would
Always.
say on paper they're the best team in the division right now.
You think so? Over Denver and
Yeah,
Kansas
I
City?
mean, well, we didn't even talk about it today, but Denver looks good and all, but is Jerry Jeudy going to be on this team going forward? Because this
Yeah.
just came out today that he's been arrested for domestic violence, and I know my
Yeah.
dad was pounding on the table for that guy, but Niners dodged a bullet there.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
that's it.
I don't know about the Broncos. I think I really don't know. I really don't know with them, what to expect with them and Russell Wilson. But the Chargers, what terrifies me the most is Justin Herbert. Like, I actually like the Chargers. I'm
I know,
weird.
I do too now. Damn it.
It's like I never wanted to. Like
Mhm.
I always
Except for
hated
that
Bill-
coach,
Yeah.
Which what? What?
Brandon Staley, just going
yeah.
for it on fourth down every play.
He
Good lord,
sucks,
dude.
man. I am not a big fan of his. Like I think he cost them like the postseason last year.
Oh,
with
no doubt.
his coaching. Just every week it seems like it's a confused I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
I would
Justin,
go
Herbert,
crazy.
Justin Herbert terrifies me though, because he can just change the game with one throw. Like
Yeah.
that's just it. You can get a sack, you can get him to third and long, but Justin Herbert can easily get out of it. It's kind of like, when you're scared of Josh Allen's, or that same thing with Patrick Mahomes too. Like they're
Yeah.
never out of it, even when it's like even when they're in the most improbable of circumstances. They terrify me. They do. They really do.
And the Chiefs, I mean, even though they lost Tyreek Hill and he's going to your Finners, Tommy, they have 3 Tyreek Hills now on the team.
Yeah.
With Mecole Hardman, he's not as good as Tyreek Hill, but he's kind of the same position. They got Sky Moore, and then they got the undrafted guy that's good from Clemson, Justin Ross.
Yeah.
Like they have 3 vertical deep threats now.
And I love the addition of Montez Valdez-Scantling there. I think he's going to be a stud this year.
That's good too. And then the 2
Yeah.
guys they picked up in the draft, Trent McDuffie. Well, you know a lot about Washington, Tommy.
Yeah.
And who else? George Karlaftis. And those are good.
Karlaftis,
Those are good. Those are good draft picks. So
Yeah.
Chiefs
I
probably
kinda-
will not go away.
I think it was easy to hey, they got a draft for wide receiver there. Like they got both of those guys and still got one of the top guys off the board with Sky Moore in the second round, which I thought was, it's easy to not rush to just try to replace Tyreek Hill. Like they went to the defensive side of the ball in situations where they've struggled and got 2 guys that are starters on day 1 potentially for them. So yeah. I don't know. I think that division is so nasty and mean. I don't envy you guys at all.
No, it'll be interesting to watch. But I would say, just looking on it now, probably
Hunter
Broncos-
Renfro's better than all of them.
Well, maybe. But Hunter Renfro, come on. Hunter Renfro's the better wide receiver over Devontae Adams now?
Yeah.
I just like saying third and Renfro. I think that's a great nickname. That's a
That's
great
no,
name.
that's good.
Wait,
Okay.
Devontae is the number 2. You guys know that, right?
So you're going to be pounding the table for Renfro to get the contract over Darren Waller, huh?
If it comes down to that, yeah.
Look, Jesus.
No.
I would say by default, I think the Broncos are the worst team in the division, even though I think they'll be good. I just think that we don't know. There's a lot of unknowns. I never seen Nathaniel Hackett coach a game. I don't know what Russell Wilson's going to be like in this offense. It's just a lot of unknowns to me.
Yeah. Yeah,
Can
the
we,
Chargers are scary.
Can we laugh for a second? Because I think the Heat and the Sixers are done, right?
What?
The Heat and the Sixers are done. It's 99-90, right? That was the
It's
final.
official. The Heat are going to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Hang on, let's take a look here. So, hang on. So they traded Ben Simmons because he was afraid to shoot in the playoffs.
And what's James Harden's stat line?
They got James Harden.
Oh my God! Are you serious?
Goodness.
I love his 2 buck teeth just finding their way through that beard.
Wow. If you were to tell me that and we didn't see this graphic, because I have the stupid schedule release show on the TV in front of me right now.
Oh, I do
would
too.
not believe it. Like I would think you're trolling.
Yeah, is there any way isn't there any way that Daryl Morey could be like, James, you don't have to opt in. We're good. Like, go someplace else. God, that's awful.
Yikes.
Oh God.
Oh man, that's terrible.
Is that his final stat line too?
Yeah, that's the final one.
Wow.
Woo. In a game deciding or a series deciding game,
And we're
Jesus
complaining
Christ.
about Steph not shooting in the first 5 minutes of the game.
Yeah, I know.
Like, my
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, they'll be fine. They'll be fine. Steven, or sorry, Tommy. Tommy, what'd you think of this last season of Curb Your Enthusiasm?
Not one of my favorites by a mile. Yeah.
Exactly.
I thought
I'm with you.
it's weird. Like I think one of the like the beauty of Curb when it first was going, and I know I've kind of spit this take at you before, Derek, but like the storyline that is pushing towards an end, but like very subtly, like where each episode's like they weren't standalone, but standalone to an extent,
Right.
where like their stories did not continue. And the last seasons, that was like if you didn't watch the episode previous, you wouldn't really know what's going on because they were this like progressive storyline that was working towards something. It just doesn't, like the content wasn't there, and then on top of that, but that just doesn't work for as well for Curb for me. And that also, I don't know, it just bothers me a little bit. I think, like I said, one of the beauty in Curb is just like they're just so totally random from week to week and bring up these hilarious things, and trying to blend all that together into one season and one storyline just didn't work.
I agree with you that in years past, they would have like an overall theme, like whether Larry is trying to be a part of the producers or he's doing the reunion with Seinfeld. But each episode on its own did not need any context. You could pick it up quickly where it's like, oh, the Seinfeld reunion, this is what they're doing.
Yeah.
It wasn't like you have to follow, what's going on with Netflix and that he's trying to, not get blackmailed so that girl is on his show, which I thought was just a stupid storyline. The only episode I liked, I think I told you, was, and it's controversial, but the best episode of this last season was when when Larry is friends with the KKK member.
Yeah, it was all right. That was all right.
I kind of liked it with I don't know. Isn't Woody Harrelson in that episode? And they the whole thing is like they're making him like over the top. Like, can you believe these people get milk from cows and put it in their coffee? I want to say that was directly taken from when Joaquin Phoenix won Best Actor for The Joker, and he said something similar, and I was like, what the fuck is he talking about?
Yeah, I don't know. Is it coming back? Is there like an?
It's coming back. It's coming back. But Larry, no one on HBO could tell Larry stop.
Yeah,
like he'll do this.
I don't
until
want them to either. I don't want them to.
That's the thing too. Is like even though the show's declined, I'll still watch every episode. But did you hear this crazy thing where they shot a whole documentary about Larry David, and then the day before it was going to premiere, he said, "Nah, I'm good. No, pull the plug on it."
I didn't.
Oh yeah, it was going to be on HBO now, and it was going to be a sit-down interview. And I guess he didn't like the way it came out. Literally the day before it came out, he's like, "Nah, no, I don't want it."
That just suddenly reminds me of one of my favorite of just Curb episodes is just John Hamm trying to be like him.
Oh, That was good. Like the last few seasons are not memorable to me, but John Hamm playing Larry David is really good.
Oh, it's just that was by far one of the better of like the new age Curbs.
Yeah. And then Tommy and I are big Seinfeld guys. So Steven, if you want to leave the room, feel free.
I'm trying to watch. I'm trying. Can you stop paying? Like, good.
No Seinfeld, Steven? Or just
I'm a very
Well,
casual. I'm a very casual Seinfeld fan. I'm just not obsessed with it. Like I feel like everybody is. It's not an obsession. Although Derek, straight up, I am watching it right now on Netflix. I'm just catching up, and I'm only on the first season, which, as you know, it stinks. So. And everyone knows that Seinfeld, the first season, the same with The Simpsons, it stinks. But you got to wait till the later ones to get to the good stuff. So I'm waiting to get to the good stuff.
I just find it interesting watching TV like that because I never watched Seinfeld or The Simpsons like in chronological order. I always just picked it up in syndication, and that's why I'm so hesitant to just cut the cord and not get cable because that's what I grew up on. It's just like watching reruns of that stuff and just like, I can string these episodes together and they're not like linear and everything or in some kind of order. So it doesn't really matter to me. Like it's just weird watching. I hear when people watch, I have the DVDs of Seinfeld and I watch it all the way through. It's like, I never would have thought to watch it that way.
Yeah, I didn't do that until this last recent run on Netflix, even though it was on Hulu for years. Like when it appeared on Netflix, I just kind of pressed play and wanted to go through it chronologically. Where in the past, I would just like pick a random season and press play. But I've done it. I'm with you, Steven.
Yeah, I don't know, Derek. Come on. Join the new age here. Let's go. Come on,
Nope. Well, I may have to, but I want to address a question that Ernie just had on the stream. Oh wait, no. Well, oh yeah, okay. No, this one. Where's the treadmill? So, Tommy, are you aware that I have 2 treadmills in my apartment?
No, 2.
Oh yeah,
it's the creepiest thing ever.
Why is that creepy?
Because it's like, why do you have 2 treadmills, dude?
Because I'm trying to film OK Go videos.
Oh, great reference.
To answer your question, Ernie, I got rid of one of them. And you may ask why. Well, should I break this news now? Tommy, you want to be on here while I break this news?
Yeah,
let's do it.
All right, let's do it. I've been putting this off for a while, but I got rid of the treadmill because I'm moving. This will be my last broadcast from Los Angeles. Next week, you will see me in a different location. And let me just say, I've left NFL Network. I had 3 great seasons over there. It was a blast. It was a dream to work over there. And I had my time over there, and I was happy for it. But I'm ready to move on now. And I'm going to hold tight on what my new job will be. But I'm proud to announce I've missed it for so long. I'm coming back. I'm coming back to the Bay Area, and I can't wait.
Wow.
Wait, so you're giving the breaking news without actually giving the breaking news?
Well, I mean, yeah, the breaking news should just be I'm coming back to the Bay Area.
Okay.
But I'll tell you what, I can't announce what the new job will be yet. I can't say it. But I'm coming back to the Bay Area. You'll see me next week doing the show from Greg's house for a little bit of time until I find my own place. But yes, I'm coming back to the Bay Area.
Wow.
News.
Wow. Look at that.
I'm pumped.
So you packing a treadmill? You packing a treadmill? You packing that other one that you have?
Bringing it over?
Yeah, it's going to be a pain in the ass to move that one too.
I'm personally excited to see Derek hammer back like 8 beers and be completely sober, like in person.
Yeah.
You mean when I drank like 7 what was it, Jack and Cokes?
Yeah.
The key, Tommy, was I mixed water in between.
I don't know, man. That was impressive performance from you.
He also drinks a heavy amount of alcohol.
I mean,
not anymore.
It was a Game 7 Derek moment. Just seeing him hammer back like 7.
It was gonna be a long day at Raiders training camp the next day.
Yeah, it was. He could drive 2 cars. He was that sober.
I don't know about that. I think I was feeling myself because after those 7, I saw Zach Crockett. Was that the night that Zach Crockett was in the hotel with us?
I think so, yeah.
And I went over to him. I was like, "Hey, Zach, yeah. Oh man, you were awesome back in the day. You want to come on the show tomorrow?" Nope. All right then. Back to number 8.
Oh man,
Jesus,
the glory days.
Glory days indeed. Well, Tommy, it's good seeing you, my man, and I'll see
great.
more of you now.
It was too much fun. I was like, honestly, like I love doing just shooting the shit, like we said,
Yeah, man.
talking sports. Steven
Mhm.
doesn't get to hear my long rants and just weirdly thought up takes anymore. That's good.
Yeah, you don't get to hear any of my Super Bowl predictions anymore. So there you go.
That one
Yeah.
year though, what was it? The Ravens by me. That we had something there. That was like the both of us combined. We were watching every week because of that. And then it all
Oh.
burned down real fast. Like, really
We
quick.
talking about 2019 where they were on that good season?
Yeah, and I told Steven preseason that they were my Super Bowl pick, and we were like catching a bunch
Yeah.
of shit for it on the text line, and then they just kicked everyone's ass to start the year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Tommy or Steven owed me $20 for claiming that the Ravens were going to win that Super Bowl.
Yeah.
What?
You and I remember you texting me saying, book it. Ravens are going to win the Super Bowl. I'm like, no, they're not. And they lost to the Titans in the first round, and then I got $20 from you.
I paid that?
Yeah, you Venmoed quick.
Wow.
Wow.
I know. That's not like you, huh?
I know. It really isn't. Wow. Okay. All right. Good for me.
Good for you for losing a bet.
Yeah. Well, it happens.
All right, Tommy. We'll see you, man. I'll see you
All right,
now.
Tyler. Yeah.
Hook up during the football season, man. Or I'll
Yeah,
see you
let's
before.
do it. Let's do it. Now that you're back, I'm patiently / anxiously waiting the official breaking news.
Yeah. Seriously.
Yes.
That's like
That will be
50%.
interesting.
Yeah.
All right,
All right, Tommy.
good fellas.
Later.
All righty. What do I do here?
He's
Huh.
gone.
No, I know he's gone. Trying to get it back to the
Oh, back to the thing.
Yeah, back to the thing. We got to make it. It's a 2-person show, and you do the thing.
Yeah. People know the show by now. We're on it for 2 hours.
It's good. Oh, God damn! What time is it?
I know, man.
Wow, it's
The-
6:50.
The next game's Suns and Mavericks has already started.
I got to be up in 8 hours.
All right. Well, let's call it a day. So yeah, man.
Back to the bay.
Back to the Bay, baby. We'll be back on Tuesday. You'll see me from Greg's house, and TBD or
We
not
need-
TBD, but TBA on what the new job will be.
We need to find a way to try and broadcast this thing from what is the new Pick Six, because my brother knows the owner of what is now the Pick Six,
Mm.
because he owns a dance studio that's just down the way. You know, like how it's
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
shopping
yeah.
center. Yeah, he owns like the dance studio at the shopping center. So he knows the guy. So we have an in if we want to do a live pod from there. We get 2 whole viewers.
What is it called now? Is it the new Pick Six or is there a new name?
No, I forgot what it's called. Should probably know that. I don't know. Maybe it's the extra point. I don't know.
Well, the extra point. Well, we'll investigate and we'll figure it out. But yeah, man, excited to come back and excited to see everybody next week at Greek Fest. And I think we're gonna have, hopefully, I'm gonna hook it up, but try to get Anna and Elena on next week to talk about Greek Fest. And looking forward
Did
to
you
that.
get the? Did you? I mean, as we were doing the.
Yeah,
as we
Ryan
were-
McGeary and his how many texts did he send us?
Only a couple. He just liked a couple of things.
Oh, okay.
But yeah.
Oh, we're making plans now. We're making plans.
plans for it. So we're all set here.
All right. Well, I will respond to that, and I'm gonna get back to moving because I drive down Sunday. So I'll see you
This
guys
place is
next
called
week.
This place is called The Draft, is what it's called. The Draft.
How's it spelled? DRAFT
Is there
or
any other way?
DRAUGHT?
Oh, wow, that's sophisticated of you. I didn't know you had that in you. I was like, what other version of The Draft is there? Wow, good for you.
Thanks, man. I learned how to spell a long time ago.
Did you?
Yeah, it's still time. I have trouble.
I remember some of those
Titans.
rundowns you wrote, man.
Titans.
They'd be like those rundowns you wrote. There'd be a little misspelling every now and then. Spell check, good tool. Sorry.
All right, Steven. God, I can't wait to see you again all the time and hear you shit on me.
I know.
Taylor Jenkins over here.
You sure you want to move back here?
Yeah, I know. By the time I get back to Greg's house, I'll be like, what the hell have I done?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
All right.
Whatever. You can avoid me if you want.
All right, guys. We will see you next Tuesday. We'll be back, I think, Tuesday and Thursday next week. And hopefully the Warriors are in the Western Conference Finals by then. But until
Oh,
that time,
God. Oh, please. I can't even take that Friday night. It's going to be way too much, dude. Tomorrow night's
know.
going to be,
Warriors will be fine. Warriors win. Warriors win tomorrow?
I think so. I really
All
do.
right.
I think they're going to be a different team at Chase Center.
Yep, they'll be fine. All right, guys. It's been fun from LA, but next time you see me, I will be in the Bay, and I can't wait. Steven, say what you always say, my friend.
And it's just our opinion, man.